From temples possibly holding magical artifacts to monasteries hidden away in the Himalayas, here are 10 mysterious places in Asia. But first, thanks Titanic, you have some great videos as well. There's quite a few mysterious places in Asia, but we tried to pick the ones we found the most unbelievable and mysterious. Let us know in the comments section which one you think is the most mysterious, and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. Number 10. Fengdu Ghost City, China. The Fengdu Ghost City, located in the Ming Mountains in Fengdu County, is a religious complex completely dedicated to the afterlife. So you can probably imagine it gets a little bit creepy. The complex consists of monasteries, shrines, temples, and sculptures dedicated to Chinese mythology. This photo here shows the Bridge of Helplessness, which legend says every soul must cross before entering the underworld. This photo here shows a vengeful ghost statue, which is sure to scare some kids. This place shows somewhat of a mysterious mix with Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism at this location, and the origins of this place date back to 2,000 years ago. There are some good examples of traditional Chinese architecture here, like we see with the home viewing pavilion, which is another place wandering souls will walk through during their journey as a ghost. With all these legends, you have to wonder whether or not this place is haunted. Number 9. Hob Par Villa. If you've ever been on the It's a Small World ride in Disneyland, this place is kind of like that, only much more dark and traumatizing. The gate from the outside might seem innocent looking, but it's here where you should probably begin to cherish your sanity before going in. This amusement park in Singapore depicts some horrendous scenes of what they claim to be the Buddhist version of hell. Here we see two hikers who are about to get eaten by some wild animals. This evil demon pig is probably something you don't want to try to make into bacon. We can't show you all the creepy photos from this place, but whichever artist worked here had a wild imagination. Here we see a photo of a mer crab just looking downright creepy, and you can only imagine the spooky vibes this place would give off if it ever became abandoned. Number 8. Kawah Ijen, Indonesia. The active volcano in Java, Indonesia is already fairly powerful and mysterious enough on its own, but there's also a sulfur mine that's become a popular tourist attraction in recent years, which has baffled many tourists. Much of the landscape is yellow from the sulfur deposits here, and it almost looks like some kind of alien planet. The crater is kind of a dangerous place to be, as you can tell from the sign, with active volcanic activity, but that won't keep some miners from trying to collect the sulfur here. A unique glowing blue fire is created when sulfuric gases ignite. Here we see that happen in this image, and you have to wonder if there's anything else like this out there in the world. Number 7. The Chichis of Hiva Oa. You might have heard of Chichis before, but where the heck do they even come from and why were they built? The Chichis on display are local gods or relatives of the inhabitants of Hiva Oa on the Marquesas Islands of French Polynesia. The Chichis are displayed in abundance on this island like we see here, and shouldn't be confused with the statues of Easter Island. It's somewhat of a mystery how the indigenous people of these islands were able to create the rock sculptures with little to no metal tools. The blocks can get pretty massive as well, and much of this was documented when the French explored the island. Some of these blocks were displayed even during cannibalistic rituals that were twice the size of the average human. Much of the information about the ancient people who live on this island is still a mystery. Number 6. Rani Kiva. Located in India, the Rani Kiva was constructed as a memorial to an 11th century king as a highly decorated stepwell, but it's believed that this was originally dug as a water pit around the 3rd century BC. It's a recently added UNESCO World Heritage Site and holds over 500 main sculptures. Many of the sculptures are dedicated to the god Vishnu in an extremely detailed fashion. It illustrates the architectural capabilities during the medieval ages of India, and the extent of the craftsmanship seems to go far beyond what's necessary. This monument was discovered recently in the 1980s too, and it's kind of crazy what kind of things can be under our very own feet for so long without us even knowing. The beautiful condition this monument still displays after nearly a millennium is quite the mystery. Number 5. Ruins of Wat Wat Laos. In the rice paddies of the Southeast Asian country of Laos, a mysterious Buddha tends to come out of nowhere and has astonished tourists. The building it was housed in was bombed in the 1960s, and very few remnants of this building still remain. However, miraculously, this Buddha is still in pretty good condition. It looks like it's missing its right eye, but the majority of the statue is unbroken. It's believed to have been built in the 1400s, and it was spared during a Chinese invasion as well as a French Indochina invasion. The right arm was nearly severed off, but it soon was rebuilt, and this Buddha seems to be nearly invincible. Locals don't have a ton of money to completely restore him, but they are hoping that tourist donations will lead to its preservation. Number 4. The Temple of Tooth. Located in the island country of Sri Lanka, southeast of India, is one of the most sacred relics in the Buddhist religion. It's said that those who possess it will have divine rule over the land of Sri Lanka for centuries. We're talking about the actual tooth of Siddhartha Gautama, aka Mr. Buddha himself. Wars have broken out in order to control this mysteriously powerful relic, and it's even been held ransom by the Portuguese. Other countries claim to be in possession of a Buddha tooth too, but considering the fact that he was actually born in Sri Lanka, chances are this one is more than likely authentic. The tooth is currently being held in the city of Kandy in a temple specifically designed to house it. On Wednesdays, there's a symbolic cleaning of the tooth, not with toothpaste, but with scented water and herbal potions. Could the tooth actually hold some kind of mystical power like they claim? Number 3. Parotak Seng Monastery, Bhutan. Although people are allowed to visit the outside of this monastery in the small country of Bhutan, you have to walk up about 10,000 stairs to get here, or maybe pay a hefty fee to take a horse. No one's allowed inside the actual buildings, where possibly the hardcore Buddhist monks are floating around. Legend has it that a reincarnation of Buddha flew on the back of a magical tiger onto this cliffside and began meditating in a cave here. It was built in 1692, but it was restored slightly in 1992. Also known as the Tiger's Nest, it's perched steep on a cliffside in the Himalaya mountains. There are rumors of Buddhist monks being able to achieve superpowers from reaching a spiritual state of nirvana, like bearing through extremely cold temperatures for long periods of time, and even levitating. Harvard researchers were actually stunned when they found Buddhist monks only wearing cloth robes in sub-freezing temperatures. What exactly the monks are doing here still remain a mystery. Number 2. Longmen Grottoes. Located in northeast China, the Longmen Grottoes are magnificent works of Chinese Buddhist artwork, much of which are carved out of the cliffsides. And these sculptures are huge too. These carvings can range from 57 feet to only 1 inch, and it's visible from the other side of the Yi River like we see here. If you venture off inside some of the grottos, you'll come across countless different sculptures, which can date back as far as 478 AD. UNESCO has said that this place is an outstanding manifestation of human artistic creativity. It's often considered to be the largest collection of ancient art in China, and what we see now is several hundred years of dedicated hard work. And number 1, the Shwedagon Pagoda. Considered to be the most sacred building in the country of Myanmar, this high-rising pagoda contains priceless Buddhist relics, and it's believed that something like this was actually built sometime between the 6th to 10th century AD. Some claim it to be even older and believe that the construction began on this in 600 BC. It's been damaged by several earthquakes and storms throughout the ages, but the pagoda manages to rise an amazing 325 feet. Covered in golden paint, it looks as though it's some type of mythical place explorers are searching for. The historic site is commonly visited by locals and tourists for various reasons. However, one of the most enduring mysteries of Asia is said to be a bell that was once used here. It was apparently 300 tons and made of pure silver, gold, and copper, and what happened to it remains a mystery. Some claim Portuguese explorers looted it, but with all that metal, his boat sank in one of the rivers nearby. Many still search for the mythical bell at the bottom of the Bangu River, but will they ever find it? Who knows?